Hello, I'm Philip Stoughton. I am on the booth of Co-Young and I'm joined by Carsten. Previously we talked in your role at Predel. You've now embarked on a new adventure. Tell me about that.
This is right. Yeah, so happy to meet you again, Phil.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is right. I'm really happy for this 1 decade, 10 years roughly within Predel family business, and I'm really thankful for all Predel family members for this chance. But this year is changing for me completely. This year I decided to board my own EMS.
Yeah.
It comes in easy ways. Like there are not much top 10 players in EMS numbers on the market available. I'm in the middle of 40s and decided to do my own business and taking my chance to do my own family business.
Okay, really good. So you spotted a target and you've taken over an existing business. Tell me a bit about where that business was before you stepped in.
Yeah, DELTEC is an existing top 10 player in the years of 23. And then break down based on the automotive crisis, because it was a company which was focusing roughly 70% on automotive industry, mainly passenger car business. And then just 2 OEMs, like many companies has done in the past, and it in different other industrial fields too. It was a acceptable, good and successful strategy over many decades to focus on 1 or 2 big OEMs and follow them investing like they want to do.
Long-term investments,
and following them. And everything run good, but the market and maybe the world has changed in that point of view. And based on this lower volume and crisis to say, I take this option to buy this really good fab with still more than 300 employees, still an automotive focus, still an EMS, which is different to the normal argumentation that you get from many of the colleagues from the other 500 players in an EMS market. It is a company which is still focusing on high volume products. And this is different. Coming from the automotive history. Also huge in production for smart medical devices. So millions of smart medical devices. Highly automated.
I was going to say automation is the key to success in the automotive industry anyway.
It is. And now my target is to adapt this technology and this focus to other markets, to new markets. And increase again to the former strengths of the company. Finding new markets, finding new customers,
new opportunities,
using my network, and
absolutely. And so when you took over the business, you had 300 people, a single facility. When you look at what you'd got there, what was it that you saw there that you thought, I must keep that? That's that's maybe a culture thing, maybe it's the automation, maybe it's the way they think about manufacturing.
If you are being in the EMS business, you are always thinking about the consolidation will run faster. It year by year, more and more players, and the market demands are changing. So there are different views. One, of course, is still 500 players in the market. The consolidation is still running.
Still going to happen.
And it's pushing more to the bigger players, and the former smaller EMS players are reduced, and a lot of them are going in insolvency. The other point is, if you're looking about the businesses, combining 10 years history of business, the big OEM players don't have the volume than before. You have to look about the new markets. You have to find solutions for new markets. You can focus just on automotive passenger car electronics or industrial electronics like in the past. You need to look about the AI possibilities, about the server technologies, about defense, about railway infrastructure investments, about KI and so on. And these are the new markets you need to acquire. And this is what you can see also in the bigger EMS. I also get some info, heard yesterday some news from Xaver, from Zollner. He also did this analysis about changing in industries and new customers just in the last 10 years, which is completely different to the decades before. And why, especially this company, is definitely my own view when I stepped into the facility. So there was a huge SMT power, which is not normal for one EMS plant in Germany. We have 9 high-speed SMD lines from Panasonic, and the newest technology level. Everything is digitalized. We have Innovac systems for you know them. For the high volume products, we have flat scanners and not just barcode scanners. We have the X-ray analyzers for stock booking. We have highly THT automated production lines. So there are not sitting a lot of workforce for manual assembly. It is inline testing systems. It is mechanical pressing inline for TE contacts, as you know, like the former TE P350 machines inline. We have THT components assembly inline, powered by Panasonic, the new generation. Inline selective soldering, inline AOI, and then going for routing into robotic cobot handling. And then I have seen the back-end options, and if you then implemented also the back-end options for the future, I don't see why we cannot be competitive against Asia. And if we then have competitive energy costs, and you see now the new, a bit late, but now the new decision of German government about reducing the energy cost and coming back to competitive level for production industry. I think this is a really good chance.
It's a good opportunity
to take a share of these high volume markets still in the local market, in the European market, and save the supply chain. As you know, we are always discussing about reducing supply chain risk.
And maintaining some local sovereignty over that supply chain as well. So it's fascinating, isn't it, Carsten? I mean, I spend a lot of time talking to EMS leadership and thinking about what ideal models are. You've had this opportunity to go into an EMS model that is heavily automated, heavily focused around the automotive process, which is very much robotics, very much low touch. In the past, everybody said that doesn't really suit EMS because we need a lot of high mix, we need a lot of flexibility and adaptability. But you have to see that if you take those bare bones and you put some agility in there, you put some flexibility in there, using maybe digital transformation, that you can make a factory that was quite rigid much more flexible, and that's where you've got the exciting opportunity.
Yes, but on the other hand, Phil, the argumentation is completely right, and I totally understand my colleagues when they are having this argumentation. On the other hand, if you have the knowledge for the automation, for the digital transformation, and you have everything in one system completely, then you can also do the other way around. And you can put a THT automatic line, a single unit, and doing, instead of manual assembling, THT assembling. If the volume is not big enough, then you have 3 modules outline and doing just the soldering after it. So you don't have to need, for every market and every customer applications, these 15 meters long lines with inline testing. But on the other hand, it doesn't make sense to do THT assembly still in manual workforce. We have the technology, it is available. And thinking about that, and also cobot options are coming to an ROI which is close to 1 year. And we have the flexibility with good engineers to teach the cobots. And you know, me and you have hand gloves for teaching cobots. So it's getting easier and easier. But you need the complete digital transformation in the fab. Otherwise, you can do not this step back for the higher flexibility.
And Carsten,
and I see the knowledge, and that was the reason of the decision.
And you see that with the the last 10 years we've spent with the Industry 4.0 so-called digital transformation. What we've actually been able to do is create that connectivity, bring that data. Now we need to utilize that data, and maybe AI is one of the catalysts that will help us do that and help us focus on it. When you look at adapting what you've got to non-automotive markets, because it's hard to see the automotive market bouncing back in the way the German industry would perhaps like it to. Which other markets do you see as being good targets for that level of automation, that level of operational excellence?
Allow me first, Phil, one step back to the automotive industry. Yeah? If we are talking about automotive, we are meaning the reduced volume of German OEMs passenger car business. We are not talking about that each truck is much more electrified than before. We don't talking about mirrors, we are talking about camera systems. We are talking about truck trailer interfaces, camera systems in the truck, in the trailer for safety reasons, and so on and so on. We have the two-wheeler business. We have all these infrastructure projects in Europe which need to be done for charging infrastructure, for high-performance charger. And this is also a huge volume for the next years, and you need automotive qualification processes. Okay. But beside that, of course, we have these AGVs, for example, logistic application. We have building automation applications in high volume. Everything in the building will be digitalized. We have the server application, which is exploding over the last years and is an upcoming new market with huge volume. And of course, we have a lot of much more smart medical devices where we also have the certification since more than 20 years within DELTEC. And we also still keeping on this market because now you know your medical watch. It's just one example, and there are a lot of smart medical tools in the future too, such as examples. So they are the volume markets, and on the other hand, the volume markets which were gone to Asia, why it is not possible to get 20% back to Europe based on supply chain risk issues. And the next point is the automotive industry coming back needs to fulfill also the traditional engine products now much more longer as originally planned. And for these huge volumes which are in the market, we need repair and service solutions. And you need some players that are able to handle this volume.
Yeah, absolutely. When you take over a business, one of the first things you have to do is kind of bring everybody together, get everybody focused and behind you, and not necessarily thinking the way you're thinking, but there has to be a connection between the way you want to do things and the way they're used to doing things and the way they can do things. What was the culture like? What was the cultural shift that you had to make in the business when you took over?
Coming from the employee view, it was a bit easier based on they have seen the decreased volume in the existing business. So the financial power of the company was not like in the past. So in that case, it was easier to explain that we need to change. And on the other hand, you must open the view and explain how the market competition is for the future, and there talk about the vision, how to realize from concept to customer for the future in which market. And the employees needs to understand, similar like new customers and the existing customers, that the technology level is really in the top 10 for Germany. But this expectation was not there, even if they know that they are good. This transparency was not there. And of course, and then everything is to do with hard work at the beginning and the first success with the first new products, the first new customer. And then everybody is in line. This is always.
Absolutely. And once you get that relationship, those relationships going, and once they understand that the customer is king and you're always delivering these exciting new products to customers, then everybody will get on board. What are your ambitions? You said it was down at maybe 30% below its peak. Where's it moving to? Where do you expect to get back to?
We are running now on this lower level based on the still automotive-driven business within DELTEC. We are searching for the new customers. We want to increase back to the 100 million, which is the magic number.
Absolutely.
Still wants to be one of the big top 10 EMS player in Germany, first of all. We also have the option to produce in Czech Republic, because we are really close in East Bavaria, just 1 kilometer to the Czech border. So we have support by our Czech European neighbors too. nevertheless, we want to be a technology leader.
Yeah.
So we are coming from the technology leading position.
Yeah.
Without the marketing of a technology leader, cause just focusing on two big OEM
absolutely.
players.
Why would you market?
And my job is, honestly talking, it is using the marketing options which I have with my network to show that in a wider range.
And
this is the target for the first year for 1 to 2 years.
And it is, I mean, it's an important story to tell. If you can make automotive product, you can make it successfully. One, we know you're good at quality. Two, we know you're good at automation, because that stuff has to be zero touch, very little rework. All those kind of things are really important. We know that you can create lean models. What people want to see on top of that is the agility that's needed to do that in a much more complex EMS world, a high mix, low volume. And if you can tell that story, I think it's super impressive. So I wish you well. I'll be happy to help in any way I can and get the message out there, and look forward to visiting you and talking about it further.
Great.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Phil.